What's going on, everybody? Power Metal Ranger back at you with another album thoughts video. This past Friday, October 15th, just dropped so many albums. I know this is a few days late, but I've just been trying to work my way through them. There's been some really good stuff, but today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the new Leverage album titled Above the Beyond. 9 tracks, about 52 minutes. Given that almost every track is about 5 or 6 minutes. There's a 7-minute one. The last track, Silence, is about 9 minutes and change. Then you have a couple that's like 3 minutes, 40 something seconds, and the opening track, Starlight's about 4 minutes. But anyway, it's all a good length. Really solid. You all know the first thing I like to talk about. The cover. Pretty cool cover. The name of the album's Above the Beyond. This definitely kind of gives off Beyond vibes. I'm not sure if it's like a stone walkway or if it's ice, like the pathway. And then you just see there's just nothing out there. It's just all like kind of a blue and white. It kind of conveys Above the Beyond a bit, but with the colors and kind of the way it is, I feel like it almost looks more like a pop rock kind of album cover or like an indie rock kind of cover. I don't know if it necessarily conveys what you're going to be getting with the music of this album. And that's my only kind of gripe. It looks nice, it's clean, all that, but one of my things, I just personally don't think it really conveys what you're about to get into as soon as you press play. Other than that, though, it's a nice cover. It looks clean, like I said. Anywho, I normally like to save this kind of stuff for the end, but this album, this was a real surprise. I'm gonna say it now, this is one of my favorites of the month so far. It's hard to categorize this album. Honestly, there's elements of power metal. I feel like the two most power metal-y songs are Emperor and Silence. But you also have 80s style melodic AOR. You have some 70s classic rock sounding bits at times, kind of a 70s folk rock almost sometimes as well. You get some good acoustic guitar, I should say. There's definitely some prog elements throughout, but it's never too heavy on prog, because personally, I'm not the biggest progressive metal fan, so too much prog and I start to but it's layered in beautifully with the other genres and styles they're going with. Like I said, it's really, really hard to categorize this album. That's why I say it was a really big surprise. Every song kind of takes you on another journey. You never know exactly what to expect. Honestly, it blew me away. Really, really blew me away. Even with all the albums I've been listening to, especially the ones that just dropped this past Friday, this one really, really stood out to me. I'm going to change my format a little bit. I'm not really going to go track by track anymore. I'm going to try to be a little more concise, make these videos not quite as long, give more of a general impressions, maybe highlight some of the tracks. But I feel like when I go track by track and kind of describe what each song is like, it ruins a little bit for the listener, maybe. I don't know, me personally, I guess if I was watching a review and they were kind of explaining every song, I'd be kind of like, there's sometimes you want to experience things for yourself. So that's what I'm going to do from now on. Anywho, the first song though, Starlight, it was also released as a single. That and Emperor, I'm going to put the link to both of those singles in the description below, so you can go check those out. Starlight, oh man, I love that song so much. As soon as it gets going, I mean, it's a speedy track, and it's got some real prog sounds to it, some keyboard going, but everything, the lyrics, the vocals, the backing beat, and all that, everything is just driving forward, moving you forward. But it's all basically, oh man, this song's hard to explain. It's like a freight train moving, but there's so much throughout. I don't know how best to describe it. I love this song. Like I said, you got this kind of keyboard beat and the lyrics and vocal melody kind of just overlaid on top of this, kind of keeping the thing moving. But all throughout, there's just guitar solos, keyboard going crazy. I mean, there's so many breaks throughout, and it's like a 4-minute something song. It's not that long, but they pack so much in, and it's just, oh man, it's powerful. I mean, power metal, truly. Really, really dig that song. It just starts out the album amazing. From there, you never really know what you're gonna get. Like I said, some songs I'll highlight. Angelica. It's got one of my favorite guitar riffs, acoustic guitar riffs going on that one. Really awesome. Every song pretty much has multiple pieces to it and has parts that are kind of softer. You get some acoustic guitar, get some softer vocals. I'll get to the vocals. But then other times there'll be a break and you get the keys going, and then just the drums will go crazy. You get these bombastic parts and guitar solos. Instrumentally, this album is impeccable. It is just so much fun. It is fantastic. It is mixed so well. You hear every instrument so clearly. There are some songs where you get the bass leading the charge and you can hear it just chugging in the background. There's parts where the drummer, it kind of breaks and you get some keys kind of going, and then it's just so good. So good. So good. Like the guitar work, it's just that's the best way. Every instrument in this album is just so finely tuned. I mean, musically, not like, you tune a guitar or whatnot. I mean, the musicianship. Everything is so finely tuned and crisp and clean. And there's moments where it feels like it's chaos, but it's so controlled. It's just marvelous. Marvelous. Vocals, you have so much going on dynamically with the music all throughout this album that vocally that would be such a task to keep up with, but he does. Just overwhelmingly. Vocally, it's just fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, he goes high, he kind of does some lower, you get some quieter bits, you get some falsetto that he goes in with, and he keeps up with all the music, and you can hear his voice cleanly, sometimes taking the charge, sometimes a little bit more in the backbeat, letting the music kind of drive, but he is out there just holding his own and killing it. I mean, what a voice he's got, and the control is just breathtaking, truly. So like I said, this album, you gotta listen to this thing. Do not miss it. I'm not kidding. One of my favorites of the month so far. I can already tell you pretty much with a guarantee this is going to end up in the top 5 in my monthly roundup. It's just too incredible an album. So creative, so varied. Like I said, every song is a journey. You don't quite know what you're going to get, if you're going to get more of a melodic 80s AOR style, or if they're going to bust out some acoustic, or you get kind of like a 70s classic rock vibe, or some like kind of folk rock kind of going, or if it's just going to hit you hard and heavy with some power prog metal. But either way, musically, you're just going to be blown away. Again, it's 9 tracks, 52 minutes, goes by really quick. That's what I got for you guys. That's what I have to say about Above the Beyond by Leverage. This album, fantastic. I can't recommend this enough. I am not kidding. I put the links for Starlight and Emperor in the description below. Check this out. Check this out. If you like power metal, if you dig stellar, impeccable guitar, crazy, guitar work with some awesome licks. Oh, there's even which song is it? Galleria, I believe. There's even almost like a bluesy kind of guitar lick going in at certain part. It's just a masterpiece. That's the best way I can say it. This album really is a work of art. Each song so varied, so dynamic, so unique, has its own personality, but each one just contains so much skill and talent and musicianship, vocal prowess. You cannot go wrong. Really, really, this one blew my socks off. I was trying to do some work while I was listening to this, and I kept finding myself taking my hands off the keyboard and whatnot, and just looking off and just listening, just focusing on the music, because it grabs you, it grips you, and it's impeccable, and you don't want to miss any of it. Absolutely fantastic. Check this thing out. I am not kidding. That's what I got for y'all today. Thanks for tuning in. Ranger, out.